So Josh, you said the other day, you said, Jordan, I go outside and things just feel weird. Like people feel weird.
I said that?
You did. You said that.
Okay.
And I felt the same.
You concurred?
I concurred. Thank you. That was the word. So I was thinking, why is that? Is it because people... So number one, obviously, we all know that we're all scared to say, like... you say something online, or it's like, wow, are people going to take this like the wrong way? Right. Is it going to like, how much am I allowed to say what I actually really think?
You could get destroyed.
But it's not just us, like just general people, but it's, do artists feel that way? Mm-hmm. Do comedians feel that way? Mm-hmm. Do those kinds of people feel that way? And then I thought, well, if they feel that way, then we're pretty much screwed, because those are the people who are going to first break through that outer shell, and then the rest of everybody will kind of come up. But then I was thinking, is that what it feels like in China, in these places where there's a lot of control? Is it not necessarily that the government is controlling people as much as it's like there's just this fear of like,
this understanding, like you just gotta
you can't
go along to get along.
Right. Like maybe and I don't know anything about this, but maybe there are no artists who will say like, or comedians who will make jokes about stuff, because they would probably just get dragged off. But then that like teeters down to even like us over here, even though here it's more of this social pressure. There it's more of a governmental pressure. But here it's like this social pressure that, well, the government of the people, all the people are going to take me down or be angry at me, and then I'm going to be out of a job. So it's almost like one and the same thing, but that's kind of what I was just thinking about that today. It was like, what's the reason for the U.S. feeling so weird? Like, it didn't feel this way in 2003.
Remember, this obviously just made me think of that song.
Oliver Anthony, Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah, I think that... songs like that, I feel like we are in the middle of a shift.
Yeah.
And songs like that, because what does a good song do? It makes you realize you're not alone. It makes you feel like the things that you weren't sure how to put into words were said eloquently by somebody else, and a lot of other people. That's something that music does so well.
Yeah.
And that's why comedy, usually the comedians are the first ones that sort of signal a societal shift.
Yeah.
Because somebody has to say, I feel like I'm not supposed to say this, but... And then if it gets a laugh, it's like, oh, okay, other people do think this too. You know what I mean? And so you can look through history. I mean, I always enjoyed watching old George Carlin stuff, because he was always ahead of the curve on whatever he was talking about. And at the time, he was, very... he made a lot of people mad with the kind of stuff he talked about, and probably seemed a little crazy for the kinds of things he said. But now you watch it back and you're like, boy, he wasn't wrong about pretty much everything he said. So
interesting.
I take encouragement in that thought.
This is a good rebuttal to this, to make the U.S. feel more normal, is that a random dude can make a song that like hundreds of millions of people...
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm driving down the street and I'm hearing people play it in their cars.
Yeah.
Like all the time. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And that
also
wouldn't have been possible before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like using the current tools.
Using the current tools that are now, that right now feel like they're kind of screwing us all, because it's able to make people shout you down. You can now hijack it and use the tools to bring everybody together. Yeah. So at some point that shift's got to happen more. And also that song also made me optimistic that like AI, not in the foreseeable future, will be able to create songs that like really impact a massive amount of people, because that was like how could a computer have come up with the perfect thing at the perfect time, the perfect audience?
All an AI could do is receive the information that song is popular and try to write one like it now.
Yeah.
But that song, who could have, you know what I mean? Who could have anticipated that song doing what that song did?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's where my sense of optimism really comes from, because the kinds of things that really are going to push us forward, I feel like, and kind of make things better, I don't think we can anticipate what those things are. I don't think because if we could anticipate what those things are, people would be actively working on it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like a hurry up, wait, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And just kind of take in the world as it is, because one day, you'll tell your grandkids about it and be like, yeah, there were strange, you live in strange times, but I lived in strange times too. Your strange times are different than mine, but here's what I've learned from my experiences. And